first video of the first read-along of this channel about the Foundation Trilogy. I have just read the introduction and the first part, which is the Psychohistorians. The world building is amazing. I am doing this read-along with another bibliophile reads. It's really cool. I wish I could read faster. He's already read the first book and I am in only page 37 because I was expecting to have a lot more time in July than I'm gonna have, because I have a job now. I'm gonna be working on July in a summer school, so I'm just like playing sports with kids basically. But it's very time consuming, especially because this is very disorganized so far. However, I did have some time and I read the Psychohistorians, which is fucking cool. I also read the introduction. It was really cool. One of the highlights of introduction is how much it talks about Isaac Asimov's inspiration, because his bibliography is very interesting, and you can see that, for example, it says that it's inspired on that Isaac Asimov said himself that he was inspired on The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire by Edward Gibbon, and without having read The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, I can totally see that on the first part of this book, because to a degree this trilogy appears to be, I don't know, because I haven't done any secondary reading, I'm just reading the book, but it appears to be the story of the decline and fall of an intergalactic empire whose capital is, which has as a capital the planet Trantor, which would be the Rome of this intergalactic empire, and which has dominated everything for centuries, everything in the galaxy. The galaxy would be our galaxy. The first part, I don't know if I said that already, but it's called the Psychohistorians, and it's you will be wondering what psychohistory is, or maybe not, because you have probably read these books already. I don't think I'm showing I don't think I will be saying anything new talking about this book, because it's considered to be the foundational book of science fiction, or if not the foundational book, because let's say that the first science fiction book was Frankenstein. Definitely a book that marked a beginning and after a change on the thread of science fiction as a whole. Psychohistory, let the book say what psychohistory is, and then I'll sort of like try to explain it. But it says, Gal Dornick, Gal is Gil, I don't really know how you would pronounce that, it's Gaal, is the protagonist of this book, has defined psychohistory to be the branch of mathematics which deals with the reactions of human conglomerates to fixed social and economic stimuli. Implicit in all this definition is the assumption that the human conglomerate being dealt with is sufficiently large for a valid statistical treatment, and so on and so forth. Basically, is the idea that the future can be predicted to the most small details through statistical and mathematical operations, and yeah, period. It's very interesting, and it definitely opens a myriad of possibilities for this book. But most importantly, it is the base of the plot so far. It's we have this character Gal, who's on a plane. He's coming from the countryside. He's at the climax of his academic career. He's flying to meet Seldom. Seldom is I don't know if he's the founder of psychohistory, but he's the one who has predicted the imminent, and by imminent I mean within a couple of centuries, fall and destruction of the empire. But Gal doesn't know that. Gal is just going there for a job as a mathematician. And on his way there, he's very excited. He wants to see Trantor. He's heard so much about Trantor. He's searching for a view. This is a really cool passage which gives us some really nice world building. I'll read it now, so that you get an idea of Trantor, the planet, and to what extent this civilization is developed, and in what ways. He's going up on an elevator, and he says he could not see the ground. It was lost in the ever-increasing complexities of man-made structures. He could see no horizon other than that of metal against the sky, stretching out to almost uniform grayness. And he knew it was so over all the land surface of the planet.
And there was scarcely any motion to be seen. A few pleasure craft laced against the sky, but all the busy traffic of billions of men was going on, he knew, beneath the metal skin of the world. There was no green to be seen, no green, no soil, no life other than man. Somewhere on the world, he realized vaguely, was the Emperor's palace, set amid 100 square miles of natural soil, green with trees, rainbow with flowers. It was a small island amid an ocean of steel.
But it was invisible from where he stood. It might be 10,000 miles away. He did not know. Before very long, he must have his tour. He thought. He sighted noisily and realized finally that he was on Trantor at last.
On the planet which was the center of all the galaxy and the kernel of the human race, he saw none of its weaknesses. He saw no ships of food landing. He was not aware of a jugular vein delicately connecting the 40 billion of Trantor with the rest of the galaxy. He was conscious only of the mightiest deed of men.
The complete and almost contemptuously final conquest of a world. And that says a lot about this book. I don't know if I mentioned I'm doing this read along with another bibliophile reads. He hasn't made a video yet, but I hope he will make one about book one because he has just read it, and I'd love to know what he thinks, and I would love to know what you all guys think. I will keep you updated on my reading of this book. My updates will not be very frequent because, as I said, I'm gonna be busy in July, and this is a July read.
But I will try to make an update for every part of every book that I read. So one for the psychoanalysts, the next one is the encyclopedists. Why the encyclopedists? Well, once Sheldon, this mathematician that Gal goes to meet, and that costs him prison for a while and a trial,
because Sheldon, the mathematician who claims that the empire is gonna fall, is being investigated.
But once he realizes that the empire is gonna fall, or that's what he thinks, he starts to set up a plan to minimize the consequences of the chaos that will follow.
And that is basically what he and another almost 1 million people that are working with him
are trying to do, to basically not stop the disaster, which is considered to be unstoppable,
but to minimize the consequences. And that is the psychohistorians. That is the first part of the book. It's been thrilling to read. I wish I would have read it all at once. I've just been scratching minutes here and there to be able to read this. So it doesn't appear so clearly on my mind when I try to remember every part of the plot. But I will try to read the rest in longer periods of time, even if that means that I have to take a different book for those moments when I have 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there, because I don't want to lose the plot of this.
It looks like it's a kind of book that I'm gonna love. I am already loving the reading so far, and including the introduction. So yeah, feel free to join this read along. You will definitely be able to catch up before I finish this book, because it's gonna take me a while, given the circumstances. Yeah, let me know what you think, if you read the book, if you are gonna read the book, if you hated it, if you loved it, and I'll see you soon.